Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
I'll move on to the new, which is compensation. When I talk about compensation, let's first understand what exactly do we mean by that. Now, compensation is related with your salary. It also contains your incentives. It also contains your bonuses. When we talk about compensation, it is about your salary. It is about the information that you are getting on your package, what is going to be your salary, what is going to be your variable pay, and what is going to be the complete details around it. That is basically your compensation. When we set this compensation, this is given by the hiring manager. You remember, while we were creating the job profile, in that section there was a place where it was asking you for compensation, grade and grade profile and eligibility rule. Do you remember that? Yes, it was in job profile. If you remember, I said in the recruitment process, once the job description, you have the job description when you get. Right? This job description, along with the job description, the hiring manager gives you the budget that you have to be the job description. You have to be the job description. You have to be the job description. That is where you need to basically put that value in the system. And not only that, but you may have to build a compensation package for that particular job profile. When you build the compensation package for the job profile, how exactly that build? That is what we are going to understand now. In this chapter, we have 4 topics. Now, what are these 4 topics that are very important ones? You got the eligibility criteria. Then we have got compensation grade. Then there is compensation grade profile. It's mentioned in this way, compensation grade and profile. If I have to look into it, it will be compensation grade separately. And then you have compensation grade profile separately. Then you got the allowance plan and then the compensation package. Allowance plan is entirely different. I'll show that to you. And then we create a package. Now a package is a combination of compensation grade or grade profile plus your allowance plan. We also call this allowance plan as compensation plans. You have seen, in any organization wherever you work, you will get a variable pay and you will get a fixed pay. And that combination of variable pay and fixed pay makes your package. Correct? Now people also get confused with C. What is CTC, guys? Cost to the company, cost to company, cost to company. Now in cost to company, you also have insurances. I'm sorry. In the cost to company, you have insurances, you have benefits, right? You have different type of health insurance, accident insurance, right? Then you get maternity benefits, right? Right, paternity benefit. Now all those are cost to company, but again, those are not part of your compensation. A lot of people get confused between compensation and benefits. Don't get confused between them. This is what we have to keep in mind. And there is very thin line of difference. Whenever you are going in an interview, always remember benefit is separate. Compensation is separate. They will try to confuse you there. When it comes to compensation, only talk about these 4 topics. What are these? You have got the eligibility criteria. We also call it as compensation eligibility rule. Then comes compensation grade or compensation grade profile. Then you have allowance plan and then compensation package. Now again, if anybody says that the cost to company is X and I'm getting very less in my hand, right? Because a lot of company gives you a good package. But majority of the amount, you would see that they are put in your insurance. They are put in your, you can say in your gratitude and other parts. I'm talking about India. Right. Now in US it could be different. In other parts of the world it could be different. Because compensation is very specific to country. In that case, always you have to think that what is my fixed package that I'm getting or the fixed salary I'm getting and what is the variable amount I'm getting. Apart from that, everything that you are getting, that could be all part of your benefits. This is what you have to remember. Now let's talk about the first part, which says eligibility criteria. This eligibility criteria is not at all related to your experience. This eligibility criteria talks about whether the person whom you are hiring is falling in my budget or not. Let's say someone has applied for the job. Now that person has the 100% skills that you're looking for. They have got the, the best possible combination that you're looking for. And your budget is X and the person is asking for a salary which is above your budget. If you're looking for a salary, then what would happen, guys? What would happen? Either we will try to shift him to the next grade or we cannot hire him. Basically, first thing is if the hiring manager has said that you cannot go beyond this budget, right? If the hiring manager has said that you cannot go beyond this budget, then there's nothing that you can do. You'll have to reject that person. Yes or no. If there is a budget and there is somebody who is even 100% matching with my budget, but that person is not available, that person is not able to give me. I mean, that person is not coming in my budget. Then what can I do? Can't do anything. That is where this eligibility rule comes into picture. What did I say? This has nothing to do with your skill. This has nothing to do with your competencies or anything. Again, this eligibility criteria is very specific to compensation. Yes, you can add different condition that there is not. That is not a problem. You can go ahead and add conditions like notice period. You can add conditions like location. Right? I have a job and it is available in Delhi and the person is in Chennai and the person does not want to relocate to Chennai. what will you do? You will have to reject that person. Am I correct? Yes, sir. That also is a part of my eligibility criteria. The eligibility criteria is not just the condition. It is also your budget. This budget is put in this section of compensation grade. And then when you combine the eligibility rule plus the compensation grade, then it becomes the eligibility criteria. We will see that now. We will try to configure it. Let me go into the tenant. I hope you are able to see my tenant, guys. Today I also have a different user. And I'm sure all the things that I created before would have gone. I don't have anything. Let me just check a D7. Let's see. Nope, nothing. I don't see anything now. I'll have to recreate all those things again. But now we are creating compensation. I'll start with that. I'm going to do create compensation eligibility rule. Right? This is my task. It's very different task. Create compensation eligibility rule. Now here what happens. I will create an eligibility rule with the job profile that I have created. _. What was that? Account executive. Right. Now it says category. Guys, this is not mandatory again. If you want to use some already used compensation eligibility rule, you can put it. Or if you want to put some notice period eligibility rule, you can put it. But again, it is not necessary. Again, I'm not going to put this as category because I am creating only for this compensation eligibility rule. Nothing else. And there is another way. Let's say I was hiring this account executive person before also, and then my requirement was completed. After that, a requirement came in again after, let's say 2 months, that again I have to hire. If my condition rule was already created before, I can just go ahead and use it. Let me see if I have any condition rule. I'm sure I don't have it, but you see a lot of condition rules are there, right? If I want to use anything, let's say all London employees, that in case I want to use something like this, you see I've got the condition here. Location is equal to London equal to value specified in the filter, right? What exactly is that now? That person should be in London. That is one of my eligibility criteria. Job file. Now this job profile, it should be CEO, right? And I'm hiring for account executive. This is how I can actually use it. I'm just using any previous condition rule which is not actually matching with what I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you that if you have anything created before and you want to reuse it, you can. There's no problem. But now that I don't have anything, I want to use my own. What I'll do, I'll say job profile. Because people will apply on this job, right, when it is. Let me first remove this. I don't have any copy condition from rule now, and I'll say job profile. Anybody who has applied for that job. I'm making them all eligible. I'm saying anybody who has applied for the job is all eligible. I'll say any in the selection list. It is not coming. Let me use it. It says any in the selection list. Anybody who has applied for that job. And now that job profile has to be here. Now, if my job profile is not existing, let me see what I get. Alright, my job profile itself is not here. Let me just go ahead and create a job profile first. I'll just create the name. I'm not going to enter any information as of now. Because all the things are gone. I'll create on yesterday's date. I'll say thank you. And beauty is 7 underscore. That's it. I'm not going to put anything because nothing is required for me. And I'll go ahead and click on. There's no job for a name. That's fine. Even I don't want to do that. Let me see. See, I got this strategic account executor. I am now saying that anybody who has applied for this job profile is all eligible for this compensation if they are in my budget. From where I will define that budget. That budget will be defined from compensation grade. Now, I have just created a compensation eligibility rule. What does it say? View compensation rule. And what is that? This is for this job profile. You see W7 underscore account executor. Now the next thing is how do I create a grade, compensation grade, and how do I link it with the eligibility rule? That is what we are going to see next. Create compensation grade. This is my task. Let me create it and then I'll explain you what does that mean. Here you see pay range segment. Now the value can be anything but only with this segment. It can be 3, 4, 5. Now what does that mean? I'll show you in some time. Right now I'm putting it as 4 and clicking on. What I have is grade name. These are vendors. Account executive. Alright. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to define the budget. When a hiring manager gives you the budget, they will give you a lower range and the maximum they can go. They will not give you something like a fixed salary. Right. That they will give you a range of salary. Let's say I'm trying to hire somebody with 2 years of work, X from 4 lakhs to 16 lakhs. I'm taking everything in IR 400,000 to 16,000 or 1.6 million. You can consider in this way. What I'll doubt base pay element. Guys, when you talk about base pay element, now this is going to be my fixed salary. That is my base pay by standard definition. It will always be base pay. Always remember that it is going to be base pay. Alright, don't forget it. It is as per the best practice. Now, if a company has some other option, you can go ahead and use it. They will tell you whether to use base pay or not, but as a best practice, you should always use this. But if a company has their own standard base pay or something, they will tell you that when you create a compensation grade, use this one. Now comes the eligibility rule. My eligibility rule is already created. What I'm doing now, I'm going to link it with this compensation grade currency. I'm using it in INR. Now you see I've created the grade name. I have put the base pay element eligibility rule, currency and frequency. Now you see there you saw segment right. There we put the value as 4. Here you have got 4 segments, segment 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is the meaning of pay range segment. Minimum, the hiring manager gave me how much? 4 lakh. Correct. And the maximum it gave me 16. Now I'll have to check this box. Once I check it, see minimum segment 1, 2, 3, 4 and then midpoint. This comes automatically when you calculate the segment. What it is doing? It is actually dividing the range equally between 4 parts. If you will put 3 there, it will divide in 3 equal parts. If you do it 5 there, it will divide it into 5 equal parts. As per your number of segments, your range of salary will be equally divided into that number. And how many numbers you can put there? Guys, what was the error that we were getting? And we gave 7, 3, 3, 4, 5. You can only have 3 segments, 3, 4 or 5. This amount can be equally divided into either 3 or 4 or 5. Now I am going ahead and checking on. I have a question. I have a question. Yes, go ahead. When you're creating initially right, compensation grade, you have selected segments. Selected the number is 4. Because of that, here it is showing segments 4. Yes, that is what I explained. You right? That if I select 3 segments, if I segment 5, it will give me 5. Right now, I selected 4. Minimum, I have to put maximum. I have to put in the segment for top. Debashish, what is this? A compensation segment security accessible by users granted segment. This is something related to security. Don't worry about that right now. You would be getting. It would be related to your security only. See, the compensation set of security feature has been enabled. This is a feature which has been enabled. We don't have to worry about that. What I am trying to explain to this compensation grade at the moment. Is that clear? What is my compensation grade? Debashish have a question. Minimum to a segment for is there at up to 16 max. While we are hiding a person, we can offer anything of the out of these amount or because of that only we are putting these segments right. Correct? See, when you get a range from the hiring manager. You guys, you are forgetting what I have discussed before. When I said I am creating a job profile, I explained you the complete recruitment process. Correct? While we were creating the job profile, I said there is an internal process. There is an external process. In internal process, the hiring manager will give you the job description and the budget. Correct? It will not be like that they're going to give you a fixed number. They will give you a range of salary. They may say somewhere between X number to Y number, something between 10 and 15. If you are saying something between 10 and 15, 10 is your minimum, 15 is your maximum. Are you getting the point? This is what I have represented here. I'm saying 4 is the minimum and 16 is the maximum. The amount can fall in segment 2 or 3 as well. If you're looking for somebody is already getting a package of 10 and they're looking for a 30% hike. How much will that be? 10% of 10 is 3. Right? This person is still falling in your segment 3. This person is eligible. You can go ahead and hire that person. Are you getting my point? In case the person is asking for 16 lakhs, can we hire him or her? That is now very icy. If it is 16 and that's the highest amount that you can give. See, this is the last thing that you can give. Now, apart from this, are you going to give any allowance plan? Are you going to give any other things? Is your company ready for no different CTC? Then you can hire. There is no problem. Everything depends upon how the actual management wants you to do it. Devashish. While selling more, other things will not come under. Your voice is breaking. The other things will not come. Tell me. Can I say, Devashish, like other things, like other ventures, benefits and all will not come under this package, right? That is absolutely different. This is just my base pay. What did I say? This is just my base pay. What is my base pay? Or what is base pay? It is just my standard one. The standard one, the fixed part. That is all I have created right now. Anything within this range. This is absolutely for me to hire. Remaining things, we will discuss it later. This is just the compensation grade. Now what is compensation grade? Compensation grade is, a defined salary with one level. Every company, what they do, they will define a level that on this job level, you are going to get from 10 to 15 lakhs. In this job level, you are going to get 12 to 16 lakhs in this job level. You're going to get 5 to 8 lakhs, right? You would have seen a fresher salary. And somebody who was just passed out from the college, they might get something between 4 to 6 lakhs. Or no? Is this similar to the compensation ranges that we get on? That is what I have been talking about. That is a range of salary that you are going to get from the hiring manager. And this is those are mostly called as 10th percentile, 50th percentile, 90th percentile, like that. That is a different language, right? That is a different language. You are talking a language of a different tool. In Workday, it is called segment. Right? It is called segment. Right? Does it make sense? It is similar to that. But I have another point that I wanted to specify. If you are comparing Workday with any other tool, there could be another confusion because every tool is unique. Every system is different. Again, the concepts will be the same. But how it is represented, that is, what is the difference? Don't get confused. Stick to Workday terminologies. If you will try and compare, you will definitely get confused. For the moment, I would request you don't compare it with any other tool. You can relate it later. That's absolutely fine. But when you ask questions, I am not aware about any other tool, right? That might confuse other people in the session. Yes, someone was asking some questions. Please tell me. I was asking regarding this eligibility rule. You have selected account executive and that was the job profile. We have to select job profile always under eligibility rule. Understand the concept. What did I say about eligibility rule? What did we talk on eligibility rule? The conditions to hire the person. What type of person do you need? But what is the condition? That is my question. Related to the job profile. I am asking you, you are asking the question to me? No. I am just telling you the conditions that which are related to the job profile and what type of person do you need. It's not about type of person. Again, budget compensation, eligibility criteria or eligibility rule is not at all related to your skill or anything. Is it the budget? The budget done by the hiring manager that you are getting from the hiring manager. Now you have created an eligibility criteria and that eligibility rule tells me that anybody who has applied for this job profile, right? That is what I have did in the eligibility rule. What is my condition? Any in this selection list. Whoever has applied for that job, right? Whoever has applied for this job. If they are falling in this category of budget, they are eligible for this job profile. I put very simple rule. I have not put notice period. I have not put location. I have not put anything. What did I say? Job profile. Any in the selection list. Which selection list who has applied for this job profile? What is that strategic account executive, right? That is what we created just now. Anybody who has applied for this job is eligible. If they are in this, falling in this salary range. Does that make sense? Right. Now what did I do? I created the eligibility rule. I created the compensation grade and I have linked both of them together. When I am looking into the compensation grade, now I will be able to see the eligibility rule also. When I go into the eligibility rule, now I'll be able to see the compensation grade also. You see, when I click on this compensation eligibility rule, I'll get the compensation grade. Now when I go into the job profiler strategic account executive, right? This is my job profile. What I can do? I can edit my job profile. I can edit it. Add the compensation grade here. Give me. Now I will be able. Are you that? Ambassador Regal, raise your job profile visit. You can edit. Be you skilled at Formano Lard? Rule is also there. It should come. No problem. Whatever it is coming, I'm sure it is the same thing. When I go ahead and click on it, see my grade is here, but it is blank. The problem is the value is not being displayed. But ideally, when you create this, when you go into the job profile, this is where everything comes into picture. When I go into the role usage, I'll go into the compensation rule. I'll be able to see the compensation grade which is attached with this job profile. Does that make sense? Yes. For compensation rules, there is one more option which is all because the one that you created You selected and as an option in the first column. When do we normally select all? You can use anytime, you can use anything. If I have more than, can I just give an example when we would select all? You can add multiple conditions. Right now, I've just said that you can add location, you can add notice period, all those things can be your condition. If you want to say that that person should fall in this budget and notice period should be less than a month, both the conditions should be followed. If that person is falling in your budget or it is less than 1 month of notice period, because what happens sometimes, you need somebody immediately, right? Correct? That the person can join in 1 week. At that time, you don't see the salary. Correct? Whatever that person is asking, give it to them. At that point, you just put this as eligibility rule. Understood. Thank you. This is how you know you play with the system. Any questions? Any more questions on this? I hope it is clear. It's very simple, guys. If you just try connecting it from the previous topics, it is very simple. What did we do? We started with organization. We created supervisory organization. I said everything will be connected with supervisory organization. You're pretty dependent. Organization is connected to. After that I explained to you that there is a staffing model. There are two staffing models, job management, position management. Based on that, there is hiring. Correct? After that, how do you go ahead and go into the recruitment that? I have explained it to you. Then we went into and created job profilers, job family group. And then now we have job profiles ready. Now, with each job profile, I will have to create compensation. Because when I hire a person, I need to give them the package. If I don't have the compensation created for them, how will I go ahead and provide them the package? It is not possible. In order to hire them, I need position that I have explained you how to create. Suppose you're not using position management, you're using job management, then how you will go ahead and hire? For that there is hiring restriction. Correct. That also you know. Now we are going into compensation. With every scale, let's say you join as a fresher, you have a particular band. On that band, company has decided that they will give you this amount of package. On another level, let's say you are not a fresher, you have now become 1 year of experience. Then on that level, there is another package that is defined, not the package, but the fixed salary which is defined. When you go ahead, when your appraisal happens, you may fall in that range of salary. Right. That is how things are interrelated. Does it make sense? I hope it is clear to all of you. Is there anybody who has a confusion? Hi, how to select that you put for right? How to select that whether you have to put 4 or 3? It all depends upon the budget. It all depends upon your client, what they want you to do. When you go ahead and create a compensation grade, right? There you have an option to select 3, 4 or 5. If you select 5, that range of salary will divide into 5 parts. That we have to ask the client. And one more question. If we are ranging the salary from 4 lakhs to 14 lakhs, but for example, what will be the main? If you write 4 to 14 lakhs and the person, you will not say this to the candidate, right? This is what I'm asking. We can't say it to candidate. This is just for your internal visibility. This value cannot be seen by anybody. It is only to be viewed by the HR team, recruitment team, the manager, the candidate who has applied for the job. Will they be able to see the salary details? No, unless you have made this public, and generally this is not made public. I just have a question. What is the purpose of purpose to divided? What is the purpose? I will talk about that. There is a purpose. That's what I'm saying, that there is a purpose for that. I'll talk about it, but before I go there, I just wanted to make sure that you all have understood all of the things till now. That is the next topic. We understand. Guys, what happens is this is for your recruiter. As a recruiter, how smart you are. It depends upon you know how and in which segment you are getting the person hired. Someone who is getting 10 lakhs and looking for 30% hike, right? Which means they are looking for 13 lakhs in total salary. Correct. In case you say that, fine, I'll give you 10 lakhs as fixed and I'll give you 3 lakhs as your bonus. Correct. In that case, this person is still in segment 2 only. Owners, the fixed package is only 10. They did not go to segment 3. What? How does it help the company? The company, you know, let's say that that person joined the company and that person is a very good performer. And then he realized that or she realized that I can get a better package if I move out of the company. And they start and they have resigned. Now the hiring manager or the manager whom that person is reporting still has 2 segments left. They can give 13 lakhs also and they can give 16 lakhs also. Are you getting my point? It is a big retention tool. Did you understand what I'm trying to say? This is how the segments come and helps you, taking the business decision. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.